Hi, everybody. Hi, guys, girls, all of those that are a part of my sugar fast. I apologize that Saturdays, well, I wasn't going to go live on Saturday, but Sunday and Monday, life be lifing. I didn't get up here, but here I am today, and I'm coming early so to make sure that I at least get one in today. So, what have you been eating? We've been talking about being on this sugar fast and following along in the book with Wendy Speak. And one of the things that she really talks about is how if we would just go to God instead of going to that sugary snack, the energy and the strength that we get is going to be so much longer, so much better, and it'll be easier for us to handle, right? So we've been talking about sugar, what it does, what it doesn't do, how it's hidden, and we don't even realize it. And I think a lot of times what happens to us is that we run to a sugary thing as a blanket. Like Linus, you remember Linus on Charlie Brown? Linus carried that blanket everywhere he went. That was his security. A lot of times, the food that we decide that we're going to eat can become our security as well. Is it easy to cut out some things that you really, really like? Absolutely not. It is not. I know that yesterday my friend and I we had a whole conversation about how we wanted a donut, how we wanted a piece of cake, how I wanted a ginger ale, all these things that I wanted because they kept coming to my mind. Now, if I occupied my mind with something else, then I wasn't as concerned about what I wasn't getting. That I didn't get that ginger ale that I put in the freezer and get ice in it. And when I take that first sip, it takes my breath. That. that. So, as I was reading in the book, just paying attention to what am I doing when the urge comes? What am I thinking about when the urge comes to eat the sugary snack? Where am I? And how can I redirect those thoughts so that I'm not so focused on the snack or I'm not so focused on the thing that has all of that sugar? I love pancakes and I love waffles. And all of those, both of those require some syrup. So that's something that I won't be able to eat during this time of fasting from sugar, right? I literally thought about it, and there have been times that I just ate the waffle with some butter on it. But what happens is we become programmed and we become stuck in a certain arena. And so we only want a certain thing to go with a certain thing. The other thing that I'm really fasting from is bread. I have fallen in love with bread. And now I don't get to eat that. So I'm really thinking, like, even when I eat a meal, I am like, Lord, can I have a piece of bread? I can't have a piece of bread because there's none in this house. I decided that I was not going to keep the things that might cause me to stumble on this fast that I'm on from sugar. Now, I want to talk about one of the things or one of the detriments to overdosing on sugar, and that's heart disease. High sugar diets can lead to obesity, inflammation, high triglycerides, high blood sugars, high blood pressure levels. We think it's just salt. Hey, how you doing? We just think it's a certain thing, but it can be a plethora of things that can cause one of these parts of this well-oiled machine that God has created to malfunction. Our goal is to keep this well-oiled machine that God created, to keep it running like it should be. And there are going to be times that we have to make some sacrifices in order for that to happen. I bumped into a classmate yesterday when I stopped by the store, and we were talking about, I mentioned to her that my parents had told me they hadn't seen her and her sister at this particular restaurant that they go to. And so she said one of the reasons that she liked to go to that particular restaurant was because they had a sugar-free peach cobbler. She said, because I can't have the sugar. She says, but they have a sugar-free peach cobbler. That's very good. She said, so that is one of the reasons I like going to the restaurant. So it's not that she likes to go to that restaurant for just to eat a whole lot, because it is a buffet, but she likes it because she recognized that she doesn't need the extra sugar, and therefore she can still have dessert. So she likes the peach cobbler. It's those intentional types of things that will help us win this war against sugar. When I read that a typical American eats 150 to 170 pounds of sugar per year, that's a person. That is a whole person worth of sugar. I was like, oh my gosh. But it explains why people in America are some of the sickest compared to other countries, compared to the Caribbean countries where they eat a lot of fresh vegetables and fresh fruit, compared to some of the African nations where they have fresh everything. And it changes how your taste buds are wired. When you start changing what you eat, it changes how your taste buds are wired, right? So that's like, I like hot chocolate, and I don't drink coffee during a fast simply because I like a little coffee with my sugar, because I don't use cream. I like my coffee black and sweet. So I've chosen not to do coffee. So I like hot chocolate. The sugar-free hot chocolate has to grow on you. It doesn't taste as good as the regular one, but it's okay. I try also to drink hot tea with honey, because we crave something hot in the morning, especially when it's cold outside. So, how have you been doing on the fast? Those of you that are a part of it, hanging out with me, doing this thing together, what are some things that you realize that you have been consuming, that now that you're being accountable, you're not consuming them, but you find yourself thinking about them? You find yourself looking around going, "Ooh, I wish I had some Bluebell ice cream." That ice cream is a real vice, okay? A lot. It is important that we are intentional about what we're doing, and that we exchange what can never satisfy for something that can. And the only thing that really can, and that's God. When you want something really, really sweet, sometimes I'll just pick up a book that I've been reading and read, and I'll forget about the fact that I want the donut. I might pick up a book and read when I think I want a ginger ale and get me a cup of water and be excited about it. So now I've become intentional about my water. So my goal is to get as much as close to 64 ounces every day as I possibly can. Because we are really 80-90% water anyway. So we need to drink water, and we need to drink a lot of it. But we replace so many other things. We put other things in the place of water, and then we say, oh, it has water in it. Kool-Aid has water in it. No, that's not what we're doing. Well, tea is made with water. No, that's not what we're doing. In North Carolina, in this side of North Carolina, and further down east, not only do they have some tea and some water, they got some sugar and a lot of it. So we got to take control over what we're doing so that we can live, and to live healthily and better. So, with that being said, we're going to continue on the sugar fast. It's not easy, but it's going to be so worth it. We're going to continue to drink at least 64 ounces of water per day and try to get in 30 minutes of exercise every day. And as you start to see the change, you'll get excited about it. Doing without bread is something that changes me quickly. Not eating as much bread. I told y'all I can eat a whole dozen Hawaiian rolls if they good, fresh, and soft by myself. But I made the decision that I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So we're going to continue on this fast, just trying to, and I chose sugar because that was something that I knew was a vice for me. And so those that decided to join me thought about, okay, listen, we're not going to do this sugar because we have so much more to do. And we want to be the healthiest version of ourselves in order to do it. That's right. Fasting is not just about the food. It's actually the ability to suspend your desires and to prioritize God for a season in order to grow in your relationship with God, not necessarily the work. Because once you grow in your relationship, you're going to be willing to do the work. But for this season, we're talking about taking sugar out of your diet and replacing it with something of God. For example, I know that I can read my word without eating a donut, a piece of cake, a candy bar, or whatever. So instead of running to the sugar, I'd rather run to the word. And that's why we're doing the book, the 40-day sugar fast with Wendy Speak, parallel with this sugar fast. There's a purpose in all of this. So it's not just about the food, but it is about becoming the best vessel that we can possibly become for God's use as we continue on this journey. So continue to watch your sugar, continue to drink your water as close to 64 ounces you can get a day. Also, pay attention to when these urges occur. And sometimes just knowing when they occur can change how we operate in a day. Because a lot of times it may be an idle time that we could actually be doing something else. We could actually be reading our word, or we could actually be writing down in our journals some things. So, with that being said, have a great day. Keep watching your sugar, keep drinking your word, keep drinking your water, and keep reading your word. God desires to hear more from you, even now in this time. And you can't possibly know the will and the way of God if you don't know his word. So take care. Till next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.